Today, we're going to dig into a really powerful and honestly kind of counterintuitive philosophy about work. It's an idea that might just completely change how you think about success. I mean, this question is everywhere, right? It pretty much defines the modern career path. We spend hours, just endless hours, scrolling through job boards, tweaking our resumes, networking, all of it in this big hunt for that one single perfect role.
And the advice we get is always the same. Find your passion, discover your dream job. Whatever you do, don't settle. It's this whole story that puts so much pressure on us to find that perfect fit. But what if that entire approach is backward?
What if the goal isn't to find the perfect job, but to perfect the job you've already been given? See how that shifts everything? It moves the focus from this external search, the hunt, to an internal commitment, the assignment. And that gets us to the heart of this whole thing, the philosophy of the assigned task. It's a pretty radical way of reframing our relationship with work. It suggests that meaning isn't something you just find out there, but it's something you build, you forge, right where you are. So, what do we even mean by the assigned task? Well, it's this conviction that whatever work is right in front of you, whether you chose it or not, is a mandate for perfection. The measure of your success is no longer a promotion or praise from your boss. It becomes this deep internal commitment to excellence. The real challenge isn't the task itself, but the discipline it takes to master it. And believe it or not, this is not some new self-help trend. This idea is ancient. You had Christian mystics who saw their work as an act of love for God. You had karma yogis who performed their duty without getting attached to the outcome. And you had the Stoics who just aimed to fulfill their rational role in the grand scheme of things. For all of them, the core idea was exactly the same. The work right in front of you matters profoundly. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, some of the most powerful examples come from people who truly believed their work was being judged not by a boss or a client, but by some higher, unseen power. So let's go way back to ancient Greece. Picture this. Phidias, the master sculptor of the Parthenon, is creating these absolutely magnificent statues. They're designed to go way up high in these alcoves, which means their backs would be pressed against a stone wall totally hidden from human view, forever. And yet, he carved those hidden parts with the exact same detail and care as the fronts. Why on earth would he waste the effort?
His answer was so simple and so profound. He just said, the gods can see it. His standard of perfection wasn't for human applause. It was for a divine audience. He was perfecting the assigned task, every single square inch of it.
Now, let's jump from the grandeur of the Parthenon to a loud, greasy 17th century monastery kitchen. There was a man named Brother Lawrence who was assigned to be the cook, a job he openly said he had a great aversion to. He wasn't some master artist. He called himself a clumsy lout. And yet, he completely transformed this mundane work. He famously said, "I turn my little omelet in the pan for the love of God." Think about that. He treated scrubbing pots and peeling potatoes with the same focus and reverence that he brought to prayer. He perfected his assignment, no matter how small, which just goes to show this philosophy can apply absolutely anywhere. But this idea can be more than just personal. It can be political. When people are forced into oppressive roles, perfecting that work can become this incredibly powerful act of defiance. It becomes a way to claim your dignity and demand respect when the world is trying to take it away. Just take the incredible story of Booker T. Washington. He was born to slavery, and he walked hundreds of miles to try to get into the Hampton Institute. When he finally arrived, he was ragged and exhausted, and the head teacher didn't give him a written test. Nope. She pointed to a broom and told him to sweep the recitation room. That was his entrance exam.
Washington knew this was his one and only shot. So he didn't just sweep the room. He perfected the act of sweeping. He swept it 3 times. He moved every single desk and bench. He got a dusting cloth and he dusted everything 4 times until not a single speck of dust was left anywhere. The teacher came back, inspected his work with a clean white handkerchief, and she couldn't find a trace of dirt. Her verdict unlocked his entire future. He passed what he later called the best examination of his life, not by showing what he knew, but by showing how he worked. And this wasn't just a one-off thing. This same principle was scaled up by thousands of men, the Pullman porters. Back in the age of segregation, being a porter on a luxury train was one of the few jobs available to Black men, and it was a subservient role.
grueling hours, low pay, and daily indignities. But the porters, they turned their work into a craft of pure excellence. Their immaculate uniforms, the perfectly made beds, the flawless service, it wasn't just about doing a good job. It was a shield against dehumanization. This level of perfectionism commanded respect, and it became a political tool. It helped them organize the first Black labor union to win a major contract, and it ultimately helped fund key parts of the civil rights movement. So what's the thread that connects a Greek sculptor, a French monk, an American educator, and thousands of train porters? It's this deep understanding that the struggle, the sheer difficulty of doing something perfectly, it isn't an obstacle. It's the entire point. I mean, look at the pattern here. Michelangelo hated painting. He suffered actual physical agony doing it, yet his assigned task became the Sistine Chapel. Marie Curie put up with brutal, back-breaking labor in a freezing shed, and she discovered radium. Tycho Brahe spent decades just tediously mapping the stars night after night, and his perfect data fueled a scientific revolution. In every single case, the difficulty was the fire that forged a world-changing result. And this whole philosophy is maybe best captured by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He argued that any job, doesn't matter how humble, can be a great work. It's not about the prestige of the role, it's about the spirit you bring to it. To sweep streets with the soul of an artist, that's how you make that work divine. Greatness isn't found in the job title, it's found in the execution. So the final question really isn't what's your dream job. The real question is, what work is right in front of you right now? What task, big or small, assigned or chosen, are you going to decide to elevate through the art of perfection?